So you're telling me Mainoo, who was man of the match in the last major final that United won, he was the 5th youngest ever to represent his country in a major final, and he also came 3rd in the Kobbie trophy, and now I've got fans trying to play down how good a player he is to justify the garbage minutes that he's been getting this season? Yeah, that doesn't sit right with me.
Oh, hell no!
So what's happened? Well, I'm going to take a look into today's video. As always, guys, drop a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into it.
Right, okay, let's go.
For me, it's one thing to talk about Mainoo's tactical fit in Amarim's system. As flawed as that is, I can understand it. But when people start to question the talent now, I ain't having any of that. I simply remember what I saw. I've never been more convinced of an academy talent making it at Manchester United. Ever since his Prem debut, going to a very hostile Goodison Park, playing as a deep-lying midfielder, none of this number 8 stuff, he bossed that game, grabbing the man of the match in a game where Garnacho did this. And after that, he didn't look back, starting 25 of 26 games after that then. I was sure United needed just to build a team around this guy. He continued to show that much-needed composure on the ball, and even added some much-needed goals along the way as well. It's the most obvious situation where United are forced to either loan him or sell him on the cheap, and then we've got to see him do his best work elsewhere. There's a big reason now why he's linked already to the top teams across Europe. Much like McTominay or Rashford, we're forcing out another academy graduate, and it goes against everything United stands for. And Mainoo's different to Rashford. You can't question the work ethic or the mentality. Instead, now fans are trying to play down the talent as they can't do anything else. You can't blame Mainoo for wanting out on loan at the start of the season either. He's probably going to do the same in January. It's a World Cup year now. With the amount of minutes that he's seen so far this season, he's not going to see a ton more with United playing less and less games this season. Fernandes being in that pivot no matter what now. So it does feel like we're holding Mainoo a little bit hostage. And it seems inevitable for me. We'll eventually let Mainoo go, and we're going to come to heavily regret that decision. Amarim has made one of the only setups now where Mainoo doesn't seem any fit, but someone like Casemiro or Ugarte does. And look, I get it. Fernandes sprays the long passes from deep, which Mainoo isn't going to do. And even Casemiro, who's preferred in there, he'll also pick some of those longer passes out, do it in these games as well. United have doubled down on this super direct style throughout this season. And my issue is always going to be that we're going to let someone with the quality of Mainoo go for a system that we don't really know works in the Premier League. We know that Mainoo would allow us to progress easier from deep with the press resistance that he has. But we know Amarim doesn't want that in the super direct style that we've seen the season start with. Amarim himself has tried to play down Mainoo's talent, quoting that there's things that he needs to work on. Well, of course there is. He's a young player. Of course he has stuff to work on. But with the minutes that he's getting, how is he supposed to work on this? It feels very similar to the Ten Hag and Ahmad situation, where the manager ignores the obvious talent for whatever reason. But even fans with Ahmad knew how much talent was there. We were just lucky with him, he was still able to spark at United. We weren't so lucky with players like Alvaro Fernandes. It was the same thing. Some fans were trying to tell me that he wasn't good enough for United. But I remember what I saw, and he definitely was. Especially at that time when United were crying out for a fullback. But now we've got to see him do his best work away from the club. People talk about Mainoo's out-of-possession weaknesses, and I think these are way overblown. Does Wharton cover a load of ground? Is he a physical monster out of possession? No, it's all down to that team environment and how that team plays to suit him. Was Scholes an out of possession freak athlete? We've got this notion that every midfielder has to run for days, has to tackle like an ox. First it was Ten Hag that sacrificed any midfield solidarity. Under him we had the same cries from fans that players need to work harder, but they also conveniently never questioned the tactics. The same is happening under Amarim. We're crying out now for a Casemiro with legs to suit this system. But it wouldn't be needed if we had a manager that valued the midfield for what it was, instead of just wanting rabid dogs in there. United all along have been crying out for it, should have been getting a partner to suit Mainoo in the midfield. Instead, we stacked up front just to see Fernandes play deep every week. And United have been prioritising physical over technical for a while, and that's only going to work up to a point. Without technical players like Mainoo, you're only going to get so far. Same as United kicking it long at every opportunity. He'll only get us so far, but without players like Mainoo, you're not going to be able to do much else. And I haven't even talked about United's connection with the academy and how that needs to be treasured, because I don't really need to in Mainoo. The quality speaks for itself. But there's no coincidence that every time United have been successful, we've leaned heavily on the academy. We've gone away from that, and lo and behold, the success has gone as well. I can't help but feel we're going to regret what inevitably is going to happen, and I just wanted to voice that in today's video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. As always, guys, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new around here, stay tuned, got the Liverpool preview coming up in a couple of days. Huge game for United.